Just so you know, I watched this in the afternoon, meaning I watched The Green Knight in the day. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about a release from over the summer, The Green Knight. Before we begin, let me know in the comments what your thoughts on this movie were, if you already saw it, or if you were planning on seeing it, and make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you like these reviews, as it helps me out immensely by getting my content out there. And if you're new here, I hope you consider hitting that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with reviews of new releases, older films, hidden gems, and so much more on a near daily basis. But let's jump right into it and let's talk about The Green Knight. This stars Dev Patel as King Arthur's headstrong nephew, who embarks on a daring quest to confront the Green Knight, a mysterious giant who appears at Camelot. Risking his head, he sets off on an epic adventure to prove himself before his family and court. This is written and directed by David Lowery, and it premiered over the summer, being distributed by A24, and it's based on the medieval tale Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, which I believe I read, though it was so long ago that I don't recall it exactly, to be quite honest. While this one's received a ton of critical acclaim, audiences were left much more divided on it, and understandably so. While the film was marketed as a big blockbuster summer release full of action and adventure, audiences left frustrated when they discovered it's actually much more contemplative in nature and a bit slower moving than it lets on. Though if you're familiar with David Lowery's previous films like A Ghost Story and The Old Man and the Gun, this shouldn't come as too much of a surprise to you. His films tend to be more atmospheric and subtle in their themes, rather than relying on spectacle, and I'd call most of them pretty slow moving, with his remake of Pete's Dragon for Disney being the lone exception. And I mean, look, if you haven't seen the movie yet, just know what you're in for going into it so that you don't disappoint yourself, because you're not going to get the next Braveheart or Gladiator here. Though, just because this isn't some action-packed extravaganza, doesn't mean it has nothing to offer. Now, while I don't think I loved this the way others did, I found it to actually be a commendable film. It touches upon themes of honor and preserving your legacy, with Gawain risking his life by confronting the Green Knight just because he said he would honor a challenge presented to him. And considering when we first meet him, he's presented as not being the most revered by his family or his peers, this is his way of proving himself worthy. At the beginning of the film, the knight appears, tells the round table that if someone can strike a blow to him in a fight, he would get to deliver an equal blow a year later. And Gawain chops off the knight's head, thus sealing his fate, with the rest of the film following him a year later on his journey to reach the knight. And I'd also like to point out that since the beginning and end of this film take place on Christmas Day, you can technically classify this as a Christmas movie. Just saying. Now, given the nature of this storyline, I understand if it's hard for everyone to truly get invested in it, as it's essentially a character willingly journeying to what we assume is his own death. But I do think in terms of crafting a solid, reflective character drama, mixed with a little bit of adventure thrown in there, it works well enough. I do think Gawain had a solid arc, as we see him go from someone who gets scorned by his mother to becoming essentially one of the most honorable knights, and Dev Patel gives a nuanced performance, reliant on more subdued mannerisms that highlight his determination well. And I do think the themes the film was looking to express are relatable and were communicated clearly, even if there were a few sequences left up to interpretations, such as certain visions Gawain experiences that are clearly more allegorical in nature. And while it's slower paced than I know some would like, I wouldn't call it boring, or a film where nothing happens. Gawain still has various encounters on this quest that provide some obstacles, like a scavenger played by Barry Keoghan, or a lord played by Joel Edgerton. And while these aren't action-packed in the traditional sense, I did think there was a bit of emotional weight in these sequences, as we do care enough about Gawain, given what's established about him at the beginning, plus the various supporting players, through their performances, do a fine enough job themselves of adding stakes to each situation in the way they combat Gawain. Plus, no matter what else you thought about the film, the one thing that just about everyone can agree on is that it's a visually striking film, which is something that's been consistent in nearly all of Lowery's works. The cinematography is pristine, with a bright color palette that serves as a stark contrast to how dark the subject matter can be. There's a serene quality to some of the camera angles, with a lot of beautiful wide shots that get to show off the stunning production values and costume designs. And they especially complement the sequences of Gawain experiencing a vision well, as it gives them this haunting quality that can sometimes send you chills, even when no one necessarily says or does anything. Though I think one of the most unnerving scenes in general was Gawain's encounter with the fox, which was probably one of my favorite scenes overall. Overall, The Green Knight is a solid enough time. While it's not the fast-paced, blood-soaked adventure that people may have thought it would be going in, it's still more engaging than I think some audiences give it credit for. It does a solid enough job of highlighting themes regarding honoring one's legacy, and its adventure storyline offers some thrills, even if it's a bit more subtle in nature. Boosted especially by its production design, cinematography, and a great lead performance by Dev Patel, I found this one to be worth the watch. The Green Knight gets a 7 out of 10. So let me know, did you see The Green Knight, or are you planning to see it, and what were your thoughts? Were you on the side that loved this movie, or did this not work so well for you? Let me know in the comments below so we can discuss. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it, and for more movie reviews and film discussion, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Thanks for watching everyone, and keep having fun with film.